As of May 2022, Bitcoin is down more than 30% year to date and over 50% from its high of $69,000. With inflation at multi-decade highs and geopolitical uncertainty running rampant, many people are wondering why Bitcoin is performing so poorly. After all, wasn't Bitcoin created for a moment such as this? The answer is yes, but it's not quite that simple. To understand what's going on with Bitcoin, we must understand what is going on in global financial markets more generally. No market exists in a vacuum. Every market affects every other market. And right now, the bond market is causing problems. The US Treasury market is selling off, causing rates to spike higher. In general, higher interest rates are bad for stocks, as equity investments become more risky compared to fixed income investments. Although the true believers in Bitcoin see it as a safe haven asset, it is clear that the current market does not see it this way. The market sees Bitcoin as a high-risk technology play. This can be inferred by Bitcoin's high and steady correlation to the Nasdaq over the past 2 months. In short, bond yields are rising, which is causing stocks to sell off, with those at the higher end of the risk curve, tech stocks, selling off at a faster rate. And because much of the market views Bitcoin as a high-risk technology play, Bitcoin is selling off even faster. But this is still not the whole story. The elephant in the room is the Federal Reserve, the institution responsible for most of the chaos in the markets. Because of how fragile the system has become over the past several decades, the sell-off in March 2020 threatened to send the whole house of cards tumbling down. In order to prevent this from happening, the Fed stepped in and flooded the system with money, to use the words of Fed Chairman Jerome Powell.
Fair to say you simply flooded the system with money?
Yes, we did.
These actions sent interest rates towards zero, and subsequently sent the stock market to new all-time highs. Thanks to stimulus checks, massive unemployment benefits, and supply chain disruptions due to government shutdowns, inflation began creeping up. At first, the Fed was pleased to see inflation getting back above 2%, because a small but persistent devaluation of the currency is helpful in achieving their goal of growth at all costs. As inflation began to creep higher than their target rate, the Fed tried calming the market by labeling this inflation transitory. Within a few short months, they were forced to retire the word transitory, as it became obvious that inflation was not slowing down. Now we sit in mid-2022, with inflation at multi-decade highs of over 8%. In order to fight this inflation, or at least appear to fight it, the Fed has announced that it is going to tighten monetary policy and raise interest rates. The only problem with this is that the economy simply cannot survive with high interest rates. High enough interest rates will crash global markets. So to summarize, the Fed is caught between a rock and a hard place. Keep interest rates low and suffer massive inflation. Send interest rates high and suffer an economic crash. At the moment, they appear to be pointed toward favoring crash as opposed to inflation. The only question that remains is this: how much pain are they willing to endure before reversing course and flooding the system with money again? The answer is yet to be seen, although it is likely that the Fed will face severe political pressure if they simply allow the economy to continue to crash. This leads us to Bitcoin. The question every Bitcoin holder needs to ask themselves is this: why am I holding Bitcoin? If the answer is to get rich quick, then if you haven't sold already, you probably should. Bitcoin is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Although it has served this purpose for many people over its 13-year history, this is not what it was designed to do. It was designed to fight corruption and restore power to the individual. If you bought Bitcoin as a long-term investment because you understand that the current financial system is on an unsustainable path, then you need to simply weather the storm. The fundamentals of Bitcoin have not changed. The price falling this steeply is simply evidence of the overabundance of speculators and gamblers that have bought into Bitcoin. In the same way that a human body, when infected with a virus, needs to get worse before getting better, the Bitcoin price needs to get low enough to shake out everyone who doesn't belong. Then and only then will Bitcoin begin acting like the safe haven asset that so many of its holders see it as. As explained in my last video, hodling is not for everyone. If you find yourself getting stressed out about the day-to-day price of Bitcoin, this is a sign that you may be overinvested. Take a deep breath and remind yourself why you bought Bitcoin in the first place. If you're in it for the long haul, then the present moment should be viewed not as a tragedy, but as a wonderful opportunity.